We're hopping onto his other channel. Look, come on. I saw this video. Listen. I saw this video. Paypigs. Paypigs. And I just couldn't resist it. I couldn't resist it. Paypigs. Are you kidding me? We got to check this out. We got to check Paypigs out. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
For those of you who don't know, I have a Patreon channel. Yeah, on the Patreon channel, I put on videos every week, every Wednesday, that I think are going to be a little bit too controversial or perhaps too obscure for YouTube. I'm particularly concerned on YouTube about the censorship, about how YouTube...
Isn't it funny how all of these people, it's the same story. It's always the same story, isn't it? Oh, it's too controversial for YouTube. You've got to come to my Patreon to watch it. It's always the same story with all these grifters on the right. Oh, it makes me feel gross. It makes me feel dirty just listening to it.
YouTube is basically demonetizing and, more importantly, deplatforming people outright for wrong thing, for saying the wrong thing, for saying out loud what a lot of people are thinking.
Well, okay, so Paypig, for those of you that don't know, is basically a guy that is a little piggy. He's a little piggy and his snout is stuffed full of cash. Okay? And yeah, he gets aroused by the thought of paying money to women normally. So that's what a paypig is. YouTube is a Marxist platform who wants the woke liberal communist SJWs to rule the site. Very true. Oink oink. Oink oink piggy. I don't know. Isn't it something in the Findom community as well? Where do I meet Paypigs hypothetically? I mean, I think there's some on Twitter. Hey, who remembers? Okay, wait. Who remembers when Lord of Patriarchy was following those Findom accounts on Twitter? Who remembers when Lord of Patriarchy, I looked at his Twitter follows and a couple of accounts were like Findom. And he was like, oh, I just follow them because it's really funny. It's funny to me, the Findom thing. And I'm like, yeah, okay, buddy. Okay, sure thing. That was a good meme. Anyway, let's continue. Come on.
And so because of it, I have the Patreon channel.
Wait,
and
he's had a serious jerking incident. Jerk-off catastrophe. That's how he got that injury.
Put a new video there every Wednesday. And I also do a weekly webinar every Sunday. And this is usually like a live broadcast that is a call-in show, and it lasts 2 to 3 hours. And it's a lot of fun for me, and apparently for the people who attend it, because a lot of people do, and, you know, all good for everybody. Now, what's important about this Patreon channel that I have is that it's transactional. You see, subscribers pay $5 a month or $10 a month to get either the weekly video or the weekly video and the weekly webinar. And
I looked at this last time. He calls it a webinar. Basically, he does a live stream every week and he calls it a webinar.
They're getting something for their money. They're getting extra content, and content that I pay closer attention to and craft with a little bit more effort than the regular free videos that I do. So it's a transaction. They pay me a monthly fee, and I give them this content that they seem to like. I very much like the fact that it's transactional. The person pays me money, and I give them something, because that is an equivalent transaction. Money goes one way, product goes the other way, and both sides are happy. And this happens in just about every normal economic relationship that you can think of. You go to the supermarket and you pay money and you get food. You deliver some service, you know, I don't know, you're a graphic designer, say, and you create a cool logo for a client, and you deliver it and they pay you money, you know. Tit for tat, you know, one thing goes one way, the money goes the other way, and everybody happy. But that's not the relationship of the paypig. Yeah, the paypig is a man who gives money, usually to a woman, an attractive, pretty young woman. He gives her money and gets nothing in return, which is just kind of crazy, you know? Because...
Wait, hang on a sec. I mean, listen, I don't think that's strictly true, right? Like, if you get sexually aroused, okay, by giving money to a woman, and you give money to a woman, and you nut because of that, then you're getting something for your money, are you not? I mean, I don't know. He's got the supervillain laugh. Yeah, I know. There is some sort of transaction involved there. If every transaction is equivalent, where does profit come from? True. I don't think that that's an accurate presentation of what's going on. But yeah, of course, Vamp. Like, listen. Of course, like, I would hope that any relationships like that are happening in a way where everyone's got the limits and the boundaries and stuff like that, you know. Like, I'm not necessarily going to defend, like, you know, like people that engage in like malpractice or something like that, you know. There's got to be boundaries in place, of course. Of course. But if everyone's happy and everyone's living within their means, right? I mean, someone pays a woman $10 and they get to come. I mean, I don't know. That seems like a fairly reasonable transaction. Okay, the problem comes because if you're a straight male sub, dating in the kink sphere is really hard for you. So a lot of time, who don't have financial submission kinks will pay findoms for attention because it's the only way they can have their attention to their sexual needs. Oh, really? That's really interesting. Wait, hang on a sec, Sam. Oh, hey, Roman.
You won't be disappointed.
1 whole year. Poggers,
oh my god!
New emotes when Chudlo Yashni Chudlo
1 year. That's incredible. Thanks so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. 1 year indeed, Roman. Hope you're good. Good to see you here. And it's been a whole year of fun and frolicking. Fantastic. But yeah, I think, you know, within reason, like, there's obviously nothing wrong with that. And of course, if there was like a case of like someone being taken advantage of, then yeah, that's bad, obviously. And I'd speak out against that. And I am also concerned with like the parasocial relationships that develop. You know, that's a problem too. So I think, you know, I wouldn't ever sort of say there's no issue with it. There's no problems I can see. It's all totally fine. But I just reject the idea that it's very core, like they're getting nothing out of the transaction, right? Because they are getting something out of the transaction. Could be that they're paying too much money for what they're getting, maybe. But, you know, it's a complicated issue, complicated thing. Anyway, let's continue.
It's not that it's merely a tip. It's not that it's merely like an acknowledgement of somebody doing something that you appreciate, and therefore you want to throw money their way just as a show of appreciation. No.
Do you notice there, right, how he's got to backpedal a bit? He's got to backpedal a little bit there, because he can't be seen to be saying the idea of giving a tip is this. Because, I mean, I don't know. Does he have a PayPal? Doesn't have a PayPal there. Interesting. Just interesting how he tries to, you know, maneuver away from that position of, oh, it's just a tip, it's fine.
No. A paypig is throwing money in the direction of someone or something with the expectation that if they throw enough money, they're going to get some attention back. Yeah, the paypig thinks that he can buy attention. That's what he's hoping to do. He's hoping to buy attention from the object of his desire. Okay? Let me give you a specific example. Belle Delphine, who's this pornographic actress, right? I think that she is hilarious.
Oh my God, he's talking about Belle Delphine. Okay, did everyone see Belle Delphine was trending on Twitter earlier? And does everyone know why Belle Delphine was trending on Twitter earlier? I found out why. It's because there's a video floating about of Belle Delphine filleting someone, and it's censored a little bit. And the way it's censored is Pickle Rick has been put over the male, the man's penis. So it looks like she's sucking off Pickle Rick. So that's why Belle Delphine was trending. So it's an improvement on the original video. I've personally seen someone drop $1,000 on their mistress. Here's the thing though, right? Like, my position is, if it's some wealthy dude with loads of money, I mean, obviously, like, it would be better if you spent it not on, you know, that. But in any case, there's plenty of things that go on like that around, you know, throughout capitalism other than just that. But it's just like, that gets focused on because sex work is icky to some people, you know? But that's exactly my point, Zap. And as I said earlier, my point still stands that I said earlier. If there's any malpractice, if there's someone getting taken advantage of, then that's wrong, and I'd be against that, you know? So I think the key thing here, the key point here is this is all about nuance, right? But obviously this video isn't going to be about nuance. This is just a chance to shit on a sex worker. I presume. Let's find out.
Okay, I mean, I don't pay for her content at all, but the stunts that she periodically does, like when she sold used bathwater for like $35 a little jar, I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was so funny, okay? But she is basically playing on these Paypigs. She is basically playing on their hopes that they're going to get some attention from her if they throw her enough money. She's deliberately playing on this, okay?
Well, hang on a sec. Belle Delphine is on OnlyFans, much like you are on Patreon. And people can pay for a subscription to her OnlyFans, and they receive content in return. Exactly like with your Patreon. It's the same fucking principle. It's the same fucking principle. What's different about it? The difference is obviously Belle Delphine is, you know, a sex worker, which is icky to these people, so that's why it's different. It's incredible that this is the angle that he's gone down, because if he'd have gone down the Findham route, he might have actually been able to make some good points, been able to talk about people getting taken advantage of. But he's mentioning someone who has a service set up where you can purchase a subscription and get content in return, which is exactly what he's doing. This is incredible. The bathwater wasn't used enough. I mean, yeah, and listen, just to be clear as well, I'll reiterate again, like, I'm deeply concerned with like the parasocial relationships and stuff that can form, but that applies to this guy as well. That applies to this guy too. Look, let me show you this. Let me show you this, okay? Look at this Patreon. Look at this. Let me show you something. Patreon subscribers at the $10 level or above receive access to over 100 Patreon exclusive videos, as well as an invitation to a weekly interactive webinar every Sunday. In this webinar, I'll be discussing a preset topic often suggested by Patreon webinar tier supporters, and as an attendee, you will be able to ask questions and make comments live and on air. What does that sound like to you people? Chat, what does this look like? What does this sound like to you? This bit here where he's talking about how people can ask questions and be involved. What does that sound like to you? It is a live stream, yeah. Well, the point is, sounds like the weekly subscriber hangout. Sounds very parasocial. The mechanisms between content creators, whether they're selling pictures of their asshole or whether they're selling videos of them talking about red pill bullshit, okay? The mechanisms that are in place are very, very, very similar, okay? And it is always, to me, very hypocritical when a YouTuber criticizes a sex worker. Now, if there's a specific case, and let's say there's a sex worker that is just rinsing clients for as much as she possibly can and is going above boundaries to kind of clean out people's bank accounts, then yeah, of course, you can be critical of that. Absolutely, you know? Absolutely, you can be critical of that, right? That's fine. But we're not doing that here. We're not doing that. We're just broadly criticising sex workers, you know. Two things both full of shit. Damn, that's a really good joke. Congratulations on that joke. That's a very good joke. I didn't think of that one. The mechanisms are very similar, though. So it is always very hypocritical when, you know, YouTubers try and critique along those lines, you know. Anyway, let us continue with the video, okay?
Okay. And it is a way that a lot of women operate with men. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you recognize them and you call them gold diggers. Sometimes it's more subtle, because sometimes the payment is not merely in money. Sometimes it's attention. Yeah, how many times did you have like some girl? Some girl in your...
Wait, hang on a sec. So, are we now moving on to say you can be a pay pig but with attention?
Your environment, that she was a friend, quote unquote, right? And you gave her all of this attention, and you listened to her problems and this and that and the other, and you expected that you were going to get something back from it. Perhaps an equal amount of attention from her. Perhaps you expected that she would wind up in your arms as your loving girlfriend or something like that. And you sort of like paid with the coin of attention. And you paid for months and perhaps even years, and you got nothing out of it, huh? How many...
Oh my god, this is very entitled. The idea that you deserve something for paying someone a bit of attention. What the fuck? That's so entitled. What the fuck? What's that meme about if you put enough nice guy dollars into a woman, they'll suck your dick, or whatever the fucking meme is? Do you know the meme that I'm talking about? It's like nice guys think that attention is like sex money or something. I don't fucking know. You get my point though. That's what essentially this is. I showed you my credit card information. Please respond. Chad, this is a genuine problem. Men are taught to see relationships in this transactional way, which makes them really unappealing, which leads to them purchasing attention, which perpetuates the mindset for them. Wow, that's a really interesting way of looking at it. Yeah, I think... Yeah, sure. I think, I see where you're coming from. Because the thing is like... you know that Twitter page, Men That Are Down Bad or something like that? I constantly see posts and I'm like, where's your fucking self-respect, man? This woman is treating you like a fucking mug. Tell her to get fucked. But I guess in their mind, maybe they're like so far invested in this attention currency that they're using that they think they should just continue, and maybe eventually, I don't know what their fucking mindset is, but like the lack of self-respect from some of these men is wild. But this is the thing, right? This is the thing. Rooted in some of this analysis that these people do, there is some kernel of truth somewhere if you dig around enough. And it's true that as you know, you should engage with people in a different way. Like if you're paying a woman all this attention and your thought process is, oh, eventually they'll be with me, or they'll have sex with me, or they'll hang out with me, or whatever it is, right? You've really got to like move away from that mindset. You've got to have some self-respect, and you've got to appreciate your own time and appreciate your own presence and appreciate your own mindset. Do you know what I mean? And it's not about being like a dick to women or anything like that. It's about just being fucking like, hey, look, this is me. These are my standards. This is how I want to be treated. I'll treat other people like that as well. And if someone treats me beneath my expectation for how I want to be treated, then, you know, I'll walk away. And if they really treat me badly, I'll tell them fucking straight that they're a twat. You know? Like, that's the way that I kind of work. That's the way that I operate. Is like, I've got like a sort of standard of how I kind of want to be treated, and I treat other people well as well, like if I'm in a dating scenario or something. But like, if there's a disrespect there that occurs, then fuck them. Like, fine. Do you know what I mean? And I think that like, that's like a much healthier mindset to go into it with. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you just have an idea of how you want to be treated, and you treat others like that. But then if someone treats you badly, you know, You don't fuck about. You know, even if it's just a case of just politely saying, you know, thanks for the conversation. You know, obviously this isn't working out. We'll just end it or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I'm demisexual, so all of this is a little alien to me. But yeah, the point is there's a kernel of truth in all this, but these people just give you like the most ridiculous fucking advice, you know? Anyway, let's continue.
How many times has that happened to you? There was a guy I knew in high school, right? A guy that retrospectively I kind of like learned to despise because I've understood him a lot better as I've gotten older and more experienced. But anyway, this guy, let's call him Philip. Now, Philip was crazy about some girl in high school, a classmate of ours, right? And this girl, she was attractive enough, I suppose, but I mean, she never really did it for me, but she ticked his buttons, right? And they were like really, really good friends, right? But he was basically her shoulder to cry on. And he gave her so much attention and time and effort and concern. And he would always be there for her.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, like, you know, I mean, look at this guy. And he's going on about this person's attractive, this person's not attractive enough. Why does his opinion of a matter? It doesn't, does it? Yeah, exactly. It's quid pro quo. Oh, if this... I think a lot of this stuff is rooted in like traditional, the idea of traditional masculinity. I think there's something in that, and this sense of entitlement that some men have. But I think to change these attitudes would require like a much broader change. It requires something bigger than just convincing every man to do X, Y, or Z, you know?
Always. But then as soon as she made up with her boyfriend, whichever boyfriend she happened to be having around at that time, she'd run off to the boyfriend and leave poor Philip high and dry. He'd paid all of this attention to her, and he got absolutely nothing in
return. Well, yeah, exactly, Strato. Exactly. That's exactly my fucking point, right? Exactly what I'm saying. Like, if you're not satisfied with a friendship for whatever reason, move on. Don't have an entitled mindset about it. Don't think, oh, if I pay this woman attention, she'll have sex with me or whatever, you know? But, like, be clear about what your intent is. Be clear about what you're interested in. Do it politely, you know? Be very clear what it is you're looking for from whatever interaction you're having. And if someone doesn't reciprocate that, then you either decide, okay, well, can we just maybe continue as friends maybe, and I'll just accept that nothing's going to happen there? Or is it such that maybe we can't have a relationship at all? And that's fine. It's fine to do that, you know? If someone isn't going to, you know, if you've got a certain perspective about, you know, like, I'm interested in this person in dating, but they're not interested in you in dating, well, you can make the decision to just move on. I've done it fucking loads. I've done it like loads of times throughout my life, right? Where you're talking to someone and you express that like, hey, I'm interested in dating, and they're not, or vice versa. It works the other way, of course. And you just stop talking to each other then, if it's not going to go the way that either of you maybe want it to go. And that's fine. Yeah, you can move on, you know. But the problem you've got is these fellas, they've got this obsession with the idea of like, oh, if I keep putting attention tokens in, eventually I'll get sex. Drop the entitled attitude, yeah? Just drop it. Just, you know, it doesn't need to be like that.
Turn. Yeah. By the way, between the last video and this video, I broke my wrist. I slipped on the goddamn ice here in Kharkov, you know? I mean, like, I crossed all of Europe on a motorcycle at the beginning of winter between November 30th and December 11th it was, right? No problem. I mean, I nearly broke my neck several times on the slippery surfaces, and no problem whatsoever on a motorcycle, on a 500-pound motorcycle, but walking on...
Wait, boycott, yeah, that's very true. And this is my point of like, you know, This is it's in our movies, the idea of the guy pesters the girl until eventually she gives in. But real life ain't fucking movie, This is built into us, it's throughout our society. It's the entitlement. It's fucked. And this is my point of like, these fucking red pill videos make out like, oh, I've got a solution. Oh yeah, this is what you need to do. I don't know what's going to happen in this one. But the problem you've got is, as I say, what do? You convince every single individual man to do X, Y, or Z. Like, it doesn't work like that. This is about a broad change across fucking various aspects of our society in order for us to move forward with this,
Walking on my way to the office yesterday, as a matter of fact, I slipped and I broke this wrist in 6 weeks. Anyway, Philip was a typical example of a pay pig. He never paid this girl with any kind of money, but it was attention. A pay pig pays with what he has that is of any value to him, any resource that he has. Okay? And he usually gives this attention, money, time, whatever it is. He gives it to the girl with the expectation that...
Wait, okay, so he is saying that if you give someone attention, you're a pay pig as well. I was kind of memeing a bit on that earlier. But that is literally what he's saying, is if you give a woman your time... Oh my God.
She is going to reciprocate. He thinks that this is a transaction. That if he just pays enough, he'll get something in return. And see, the girls are perfectly aware of what's going on, and they are perfectly aware that they are not going to reciprocate. They have no intention of reciprocating. After all, they're getting something for nothing. They're getting something, and they're dangling the hope that in the future, someday, maybe at some point in the far distant future, maybe they'll pay the pay pig back. But they...
Okay, so can I just point something out, okay? There are some fucking bitches that will do shit like that, okay? I'm being very specific there and calling those people bitches, okay? I'm not using it broadly for all women. I'm not being misogynistic, okay? But I would describe someone who knows that there's an interest and uses that to her advantage. I would describe that person as a bitch. Or a bastard if it's a guy. Guys can do it too. Guys can do it too, okay? It's not just fucking women that do this shit. Men can do it as well. Yeah? Wankers. Bitches and wankers, okay? But in all seriousness, okay? Listen. It's not every woman that does this, okay? It isn't every single woman that does this. There are some women that will do it. Yes, okay? Guys can do it too. Don't go on for all false equivalence, though. What do you mean? How is that a false equivalence? That's not a false equivalence. I love it when nerds try and do like, oh, you're doing a fucking logical fallacy. You're doing the etu quote fucking fallacy. Yeah, fuck off. Guys do it too. Women are much more likely to do it. Well, according to who? What data point are you looking at that says that women are much more likely to do it? Where's your evidence to demonstrate that that's the case? You just activated my fallacy card. But yeah, you know, it's not just unique to women. It's not just unique to women. Where's my evidence? What evidence do I need to back up the statement? There are some women and some men that will take advantage of the fact that someone's interested in them to manipulate them. That's just true on the face of it. What evidence do I need to back that up? What the fuck are you talking about? Unless you're suggesting that no men do it. All I'm saying is men and women do it. It's an intellectual cop-out. What are you talking about? But yeah, there are people who will be where's my meta-analysis of bastards and bitches? True, I haven't got that to hand. Anyway, my point is this, right? Anyone that will take advantage of the fact that someone is interested in them to manipulate the other person despite having like no interest in them, that is just a shitty thing to do. Is this the uwu face? Is he doing the uwu face? So yeah, for anyone that does this is a shitty person. And do you know what? Listen, do you know what? Listen. They ain't worth your fucking time. There's the fucking real truth, okay? There's the real truth. You don't actually have to back up what you're saying. See, if you actually have a point against Red Pill, I respect it, but none of your arguments are convincing. Okay, fucking BBJ Live 2, thanks for your input. But yeah, it's, you know, they're not worth your time anyway. So why would you waste time on someone like that? It's when I look at the fucking the Twitter, yeah? Chud, the male version of this is fucking someone who loves you just to get your coom on and then dropping her when you find someone better. Yes, exactly, Zach. Precisely correct. Precisely right. I've done that before in my checkered past, okay? I've done that. And I know plenty of fellas that have done that. The thing is, a lot of the time in the moment, you think you'll never find anyone better, so it's hard to let go. Yeah, Zach, that's a really good point, actually. So for women, some men and some women isn't an argument. Oh my fucking god, you are some sort of like trying to be some sort of logic nerd, but you're terminally stupid. You're terminally stupid, so you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Incredible. Not an argument. What the fuck? Oh my god. Plenty of people have boys who chase money. Is that Stefan Molyneux in chat? Have we got Stefan Molyneux in chat by any chance? Is Stefan Molyneux swung by my stream? Anyway, listen, okay? So the point is this. Anyone, regardless of gender, anyone that will take advantage of the fact that you are interested in them to manipulate you is not worth your time of day, okay? But that malice that is occurring there isn't necessarily the same for everyone. There could also be a situation where it's unclear. It's unclear. So, because the fella hasn't made it clear what his intent is and what he's interested in, okay, the woman doesn't necessarily know, for example, and so it ends up in a situation of confusion where the man is like chasing the woman maybe is a bit confused about the signals, doesn't know what's going on, and it ends up in this situation, and it ends up in that circumstance where, fuck, it comes to a head, you know, the woman goes and gets fucking dicked down with a Tinder date, and the guy's feeling sad, like, what the fuck did I do wrong? And it's like, you weren't clear enough in your intent to understand what was going on, you know? We've been on the screen cap for ages now. Anyway, let's continue, okay?
Really won't. They have no intention of doing so. And if they ever really have to pay him back somehow or other, it will be reluctantly. It will be resentfully. I mean, it's not going to be something happy because, see, if you're getting something for free, you're going to get pissed off when you have to start paying for it now, won't you? Exactly. See? Exactly. You know, if Belle Delphine at some point or another finds out that she has to actually pay attention to all these guys who are throwing money her way, sometimes thousands of dollars to some e-thought who's God knows where. I mean, I have no idea where Belle Delphine lives, right? Or where she's at. I think she's British, but it doesn't matter. The point, she's out there in the ether, right? Giving these guys no attention whatsoever and getting money from them. And what do you think is going to happen when she actually, at some point or another, has to pay attention to these guys? She's going to hate it. She's not going to do it. She'll find something else.
Wait. What's this? Oh my God, look at this. Well done. That's fucking great. I love it. Pain.
Else to do now, won't she? Something that is a lot less effort for her. Because, see, work and attention are two very different things. Yeah, because giving somebody attention demands a lot from you. It's a...
I think it's worth pointing out, like I don't know what Belle Delphine's but she runs her OnlyFans, right? But you know, I do know that there's like a degree of interaction that occurs, and like if you're on OnlyFans, you do have to give people a certain degree of attention. I mean, obviously, like it's again, this is where the parasocial relationship stuff comes in, right? And this is where you can start to talk about like a critique of parasocial relationships and like how alienation under capitalism leads them to form. And how, although obviously any of these services can be used in a healthy way, whether you're a sex worker, whether you're a streamer, whether you're a YouTuber, whatever the case may be, you can get into a situation where someone has got a parasocial relationship with you. And, you know, you've got to like have some sort of like insight or thought process into maybe how you might deal with that, you know? And I hope that that these people do have that, and if they do, great. And if they don't, they should sort it out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, lonely and isolated people looking for connection. Yeah, exactly. You know, this whole it's fundamentally fucked that people get into a position where they're so lonely that they feel like their only option is that they have to pay someone for attention. That's pretty fucked up, you know? And that's something that as lefties we should stand against. It's a good job with such good friends that will never happen, Chad. Yeah, it's about boundaries, right? It's about having clear boundaries. I don't know what Bad Empanada's got to do with what I'm talking about, but I don't know. He's a YouTuber. There we go. That's what I think of Bad Empanada. Let's continue.
Psychic cost, much more than work. I mean, how many times have you done some crappy job that you just needed in order to get a few bucks, right? And you didn't really pay attention to the job and you just did it. And it was no problem. It didn't weigh on you. For instance, in college,
Stand against why? Live and let live. Well, no, because if someone... Wait a sec. If someone genuinely is so desperate for attention and lonely that they feel that they've got to pay someone to get attention, I think that's fucked up. And I think that, you know, we need to look at how we can change things so that people aren't put in a position where they're so desperate for attention. If you don't have a solution, don't bother then. Okay, let me ask you a question, right? Do you expect a food critic to be able to cook a meal, like a full meal, the same as Gordon Ramsay? Do you think that if someone goes into a restaurant as a food critic, eats the food and writes an article and says, oh, the food wasn't very good, these were the problems with it, do you think they should be expected to go and cook a full meal? That's not how it fucking works, is it? You can criticise things without necessarily having solutions in place. Because the problem you've got is like some of these solutions that are required, they should put up or shut up. They should... Is Bad Empanada a tanky? Why are we talking about Bad Empanada for? This has got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Do you think Gordon Ramsay needs to know where the lamb sauce is to criticise the fact it's missing? Please stop fucking arsing me. What's this? Do you know about the Wiltshire Boulevard CRP drama? No, I don't. What's that? Don't ever talk about things if you can't solve it immediately. Yeah, I know. It's not just conservatives, it's liberals that say that shit as well, right? When you're talking about critiques of capitalism, it's like, well, what would you do? So I don't fucking know. I'm just some shithead. You know, what the fuck? Listen, if you're coming to me for a solution, you're coming to the wrong place, okay? This isn't the don't criticise someone if you can't do it scenario. Yes, it is exactly that, actually. Anyway, let's continue.
I used to wash dishes. I used to wash dishes bright and early in the morning at the business school there. The Tuck School of Business, I'd be there, I think it was at like 6:30 or something like that. Certainly before 7. And I'd be there washing dishes for 2 hours every day, from Monday to Friday. And I didn't pay it any mind. I didn't pay it any attention. It was just a job. But see, when the object of a pay pig all of a sudden has to pay attention to the pay pig, then it's just resentfulness, right? So you have to understand. See, the object of, if you're a pay pig, rather, you have to understand that the object of your affection is not looking forward to giving you attention. On the contrary, if they ever have to give you attention, it'll be reluctantly and resentfully. In fact, more likely than not, they'll make it a point of avoiding you. I mean,
wait, hang on a sec. Are you really suggesting that, like, the fact that people are so alienated and lonely that they have to pay for attention, you don't think that's a problem? That is a fucking problem.
A pay pig, it's such a sad existence. It's so sad because he's not using any of the other qualities that he has in order to get a woman. He's using money. He thinks that money is the way to go. Money or attention, something like that. But there's more to getting a woman's attention than mere money. And a lot of times you'll discover that, see, a guy might be able to capture some girl's attention or sexuality by way of money, but she's going to be thinking of some other guy. For her, it'll just be a job that she has to fulfill in order to get the money. But she's not going to care about the guy. Oh no. If you ever find yourself in the position
Well, the thing is, it's like, I honestly thought this might be like a discussion about pay pigs and stuff like that. But it isn't. It's just basically about, like, pay pigs are what I say they are, and they're bad, and, like, I don't know what his solution's going to be. We'll see if he proposes a solution at the end.
You realize that you're a pay pig, get out of it. Instantly. The second you realize that you're a pay pig, the second you realize that you are giving money or attention or time to some woman and getting nothing in return, you have to understand that that relationship is unhealthy for you. And that if you ever do convince the girl...
I mean, he's not like... This is the thing, right? Again, it's the kernel of truth thing. Because, of course, if you've got a relationship that isn't reciprocal, then absolutely. But it's this level of entitlement that still is underpinning. It's still fucking underpinning this. It's still this idea that, like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh God, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Because there is like a good message that you could give here, And again, like, I think what I sort of suggested earlier is having that level of self-respect, being clear about what your intentions are, and don't let yourself be taken advantage of. Those are just good things that you can do on an individual basis, But this is like, I don't know. The thing about a lot of heterosubmissive men is they often still see women as objects to get them off. So they're incredibly presumptuous and rude in DMs. Oh yeah, I know that, like, men tend to lead with, like, dick pics and send nudes and, like, I've seen and heard about the DMs from my my friends. My friends have shown me some of the DMs they get. It's pretty bad. It just means that if you are interested in someone, if you genuinely go in with, like, just start with, like, a friendly chat and see where it goes, you're already doing better than most fellas out there. Do you know what I mean? If you just go in with a more, hey, I'm just going to get to know this person and see what goes down, you're already, like, 10 steps ahead of most other fellas on the dating market. But unfortunately, fellas persist with this ridiculous strategy of dick pics and demanding lewds and all sorts of dumb shit like that.
The object of your affection, to reciprocate, she's going to do it reluctantly, resentfully, and she will try her darndest to get away from you the second that she can. And do you know why? Obvious. Because she's going to feel like a whore. Yeah,
Wait,
simple
what?
as that. She's going to feel like a whore. Yeah? It's all good and fine if she's just, smiling and showing a little TNA to get money. That's all perfectly fine. But when she actually has to pay attention to you, when she actually has to give of herself to you for that reward, be it money, be it time, be it attention, she's going to resent it. She's going to feel like a whore. She's going to want to get away from you. And she's going to identify you with that feeling of being a whore. And she's going to hate you for it. Most pay pigs don't seem to understand this.
Wait, what? Come again? What the fuck was all that about? This is what I mean about this red pill stuff. Often the solution is just, okay, some women might treat you like shit. The solution is to treat all women like shit, okay? Easy, done. They're a whore. Simple. What the fuck is this? This is Coach Red Pill. This is so silly. You don't need to be like this. Yeah, it is like get them before they get me. It doesn't need to be like that. Just operate with a level of self-respect, okay? That is it. That's all you need to do. You don't need to look down on women. You don't need to think badly of women, okay? Judge each one as an individual as you go into it, okay? Your responses are visceral. He just said that these women are whores. That you make them feel like whores. And my response is visceral. Oh my fucking god, you've got fucking mashed potato for brains, BBJ Live 2. I don't know what else to tell you. You're fucking terminally stupid. I don't know what else to tell you. That's the final thing I'm going to say to you, okay? Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's very simple. You know, it's that level of self-respect. And if someone is going to treat you badly, then just walk away from the relationship. Easy.
Most Paypigs do not understand that the more they continue with this relationship, the more resentful the object of their attention is going to be. Yeah. You don't get a girl by paying her. You get a girl by getting her to chase you. That's how you get a girl. By getting her to invest in you, not you investing in her. But Paypigs don't understand this. They don't believe it. It's the simple state of affairs. They don't believe it, or they don't think that they have it in them to be able to create this situation with a girl. Yeah, because this guy I was telling you about, Philip, Philip was an all right guy. I mean, he had his defects like everybody, right? But he was good enough. He could have gotten this girl's attention. He could have gotten her attention. I mean, he did have her attention.
Yeah, it's exactly, Roman. It's like, I mean, I don't want to do the just have healthy relationships 5 heads, but this is the thing. It's like we're so far removed sometimes from what a healthy relationship looks like, you know? I can't believe people actually think women are real.
He could have gotten her to chase him, but he didn't have the nerve. He didn't have the nerve to step away from her and to make himself scarce, to make her have to chase him. He was always there for her, but he never created the conditions where she would have to go after him, look for him, chase him, catch him. He was always there for her. He had girlfriends, but whenever this girl called, this classmate of ours called him, he'd just ignore the girlfriend that he had and would go to her. Later, he got married, and even with his wife, he would dismiss the wife to go and listen.
What's this? This looks like a good thing. Men need to understand that they don't need women to complete them. They're beautiful souls by themselves. They need to understand that before they can be happy getting into a relationship. That's very true. So here's the thing with the push and pull stuff, yeah? Is like, naturally, if you're happy with yourself and you are just living your life and you're doing your thing, you're doing your man thing, you're doing your dude's rock stuff, okay? Naturally, you will be less available, okay? So let's say, for the sake of argument, that I was seeing someone or I'd been on a couple of dates with someone, okay? Now, I'm a busy guy. I'm doing this, I'm doing other stuff, whatever, right? So, like, I'm not going to respond to messages straight away. It might be that she's like, oh, do you want to meet up on this day? I'm going to be like, oh, I can't do that day, unfortunately. I'm busy on Wednesday. Maybe I can do this weekend, though. I'll let you know tomorrow. Okay, cool. You know, so naturally, just living your life, being happy with yourself, doing your thing, you'll become less available anyway. The issue I've got with the red pill thing is that they try and like force it. They try and make it so that it's like, oh, it becomes like a mechanical process, you know, of you mustn't reply to someone's messages for this many hours and dumb fucking shit like that or whatever it is, you know. And it's like, they're not rooting it in this idea, you know, that like you should just be happy in yourself. You should be doing your own stuff. And you should just be fucking living your life. And then, that's when you're not going to be like... Because it's true. It is true. Okay, listen. It is true that if you are too attentive, if you're too needy, that can be very off-putting. Like, that is just, in my experience, what I found to be true, right? If you're like... if you're constantly hassling them. It's the being hassled, I think. Being too available is a bad thing, but you can't pretend to not be available. It just makes you as unhappy at the end of the day. Yeah, exactly. You should just make yourself unavailable by just living your life and doing stuff. Meet someone, take an online course, whatever it fucking is. Become a gamer. Yeah, become a fucking gamer, unironically. Become a fucking gamer. Oh, I can't tonight. I've got something planned with my friends. I'm playing some fucking video. Easy. Meet friends you can discuss your emotions without being drunk. That's good advice as well, yeah. Meet up with friends. Whatever it is. Civilization 6, yeah, sure. But the key point is, don't force it. Don't pretend that you're not available. Actually be unavailable, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I can't remember reading all the PUA stuff and they talk about this and it's just fucking cringy and weird, you know? Anyway, sorry. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense.
Listen to the problems of this friend. This girl who was not his girlfriend, who was just a friend, and used him as a pay pig. You see? You see how tragic the story really is? Because he could have gotten her, but it was just a failure of nerve. A failure of nerve and a lack of belief in his own worth. Ultimately,
wait a sec. I feel like there's something good about the kind of meme about being upfront about trauma when it comes to a clear relationship might be on the table. Oh yeah. I mean, obviously when you're dating, you don't want to fucking like don't talk about like weird shit, you know? Don't talk about anything that might, like, you need to get a few dates in, and maybe if a relationship's on the table, then you can have like a conversation, and hopefully you'll be more comfortable then anyway, you know? But yeah, definitely not on the first date. Jesus Christ. The first date should be about having fun, and that is pretty much it. Like, Jesus Christ. Well, he's talking about this other person. It's a third party, apparently.
that's the problem with Paypigs. They do not believe that they are worth a woman's attention. And let me be the first to tell you, see, you are. Everybody is.
Okay. That's actually, okay, that one snippet there, I'll give him that. That sounded nice. That in isolation. But it's the issue is, that's an absolutely brilliant message to give to fellas. But it's all the other shit that they do as well. That's the fucking problem. It's the treat women like shit stuff. That's the not cool stuff.
Perhaps for everyone. I mean, like, for instance, I have a fairly healthy sense of my own worth, right? But there are certain girls who are never going to pay any attention to me, no matter how interesting I might happen to be, or no matter how many qualities I might happen to be. So I'm realistic about that, right? I'm realistic about the girl who would be interested in me, who would chase after me. But that's the problem with Paypigs, though. They do not believe that any woman would want them, no matter how lowly.
Maybe you shouldn't call them Paypigs and demean them. Maybe that might be a good place to start, hey? Maybe it might be a good idea to not demean them and call them Paypigs. Maybe that might be a good start. Maybe don't make them feel like absolute shit. Jesus Christ.
You got to get over that. I mean, I'm not one for pumping up somebody's quote-unquote self-esteem just because. I think that that's stupid. Self-esteem is dumb. Self-respect, that's something else. Self-respect is earned. That sense that you are valuable because of the things that you have done, the things that you have become as a man.
I disagree with that. I don't think you have to earn self-respect. That's fucking silly. You don't have to earn self-respect. What the fuck? You just have to, you know. I don't know. I can't. He doesn't know about the self-respect store. I don't know how to verbalise it. It's respecting the things you have, not yourself. Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
I think that building up your self-regard, your self-respect is essential. But so many pay pigs, they don't have that sense of their own worth. And so they're in this situation. Don't allow yourself to become this. Understand that it's a two-way street. You're valuable, and you should go for somebody who sees that you're valuable and wants it in return.
There's a bit at the end of banger though.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And as I said at the beginning,
There we go. We don't need to watch this. We've seen this all before. It's 15 minutes long. I've been talking about it for way too long, so I was arguing with that one guy. Jesus Christ. This has been a long segment. It's taken an hour to do each segment so far because I've been fucking around so much. Anyway, there we go. There's Coach Red Pill on Paypigs. Wasn't quite what I was expecting, but there we go.